Well, Andrew, he started to go off, and Saturday is when it became more like there's a conspiracy to hurt him with Nick. So it went beyond this is Saturday conversation, the waffle one. It opened the door to so much of the conversation where he said that he was checking me out. Then I told him that I was pretty or whatever. And then I'm like, that really grosses me out, for one, like to be objectified. Um, and that's when, you know what, I started opening him up. And normally, I don't like to know anything about me, good or bad. You have to earn the right to know about me. It's just nobody has the right to know anything about me, and I'm really touchy with that. So I don't like to speak of any of my traumas, and if any of my friends dare speak about my trauma to anyone else, I feel very violated. I'm very I just had, my everyone in my life has betrayed me, and no one has ever treated me with unconditional love, period, except the dog, and that's where I learned love. And so there's nobody that I put above me because no one's ever loved me unconditionally, and no one's ever accepted me for how I was without criticizing me and judging me. And it's ironic to me because it's really ironic to me because everybody has problems and flaws, um, and for them to judge me for mine, I find it to be highly offensive, really, because like everyone accepts people how they are. There's people that just they're just odd, and I throw this with Arthur because Arthur always criticizes and puts me down. That's what I feel. Like I'm always doing something wrong. He's very controlling where it has to be his way and now. And then he's very like he's snippy, almost like not a father, but just someone who has to tell me like the obvious, like if the dog's poop, what we got to clean it up, like telling me what to do. It's like duh. That's one thing that always bugged me. He always puts everyone else's needs above mine. I was never ever Arthur. Or let me back up history. Arthur and I have been dating. We were dating for, man. We met on online dating in the end of 2020, and that's when I got COVID, and so we were, it put off our talking, so we didn't actually meet till the 2021, like January, and so that's when we met, and then the reason why, like, the things, Arthur wasn't like, he never showed interest in me. Arthur's an odd one. He doesn't, like, he was never affectionate. And Arthur, like, I'm very affectionate, and Arthur was very stern, and just he didn't act like he liked me, which is way 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 different than what I'm used to. Like my ex-husband, he was very affectionate, very loving, very very like overboard, and at first probably that's what I needed because I was very lonely, and just I was a broken person from even growing up, and I didn't even know that. So with Arthur, maybe I think maybe because he was, my daughter made a comment too, like he's like the hundred opposite of my ex husband, and this is my older daughter who is not the biological daughter of my ex husband, and so she has a different take on him than the rest of my children do, because he has a very big control and and like power over them, and that's where their betrayal came to me, and so then I'm thinking maybe that's why he's safer, and he's not it's somebody like I'd probably be safe with because he was emotionally unavailable, and he wasn't affectionate at all, and I'm very affectionate person, and I like the kissing and I like touching and everything. When I was first with Arthur, he would be stiff as a board, like, so when I went to touch him, it's like to me it's like maybe someone molested him when he was a child because he was stiff. So my touch to him was like it was not received. It was cold, and so it's confusing to me because I've always been like an attractive person, like especially like growing up, and I was looked at by men, grown men, and I'd still be like just barely a teenager because I developed early, and I was very childlike. Like I played with Barbie dolls past like 12 years old, and like everything that was happening to me, like the sexual, everything that was happening to me and the abuse that I received as a child, I had no way to process it, and it was done by the people who should be caring for me, and so it just, I didn't know what to make of all that, and just the being I don't know. That's why I don't like to be looked at that way. So, and Arthur definitely wasn't one of those guys, like a player guy, without a doubt. He's not at all. But so then, that's why. So then, when Andrew was saying that, like he was looking at me, and I don't notice the gaze, and then somehow that prompted me to bring up, because some things that he was noticing about Arthur are things that I notice as well, and the things that he touched something about Arthur that no one, hey, stop it, that no one else has touched upon about Arthur, like, because Arthur's he's very nice, and that's fine, but to me it's like he's just, I don't want to say a people pleaser, but his whole thing is he really wants to be liked. So by him going overboard for Andrew, that's normal, because he cares about what people think, but not about what I think. So, and these are like ongoing issues with Arthur, and so I felt like a validation when he's all like, Arthur acts aloof, because with me he does. So if I have a problem with Arthur, like if he hurt my feelings, he always acts like, what, like I don't, like he doesn't know. And then to me, deep down, I feel like he does know, and he's just trying to play stupid, like he doesn't know. But then now I'm thinking, it's just Arthur. Like, I've learned, I used to always get, when I was going out with him, I'd always get mad at him because like he would not treat me like I'm anything special. And I would always tell him, like, I wish you treated me like a stranger, because at least with the stranger, you're nice to them, and you're so you're so caring, and like you're just, you do stuff for them, the things that you would never do for me. So I thought he treated me that way for a reason, like, it was just me. But then I saw him do it with his mom too. Like, his mom wanted him to get ice cream because it was on sale. And they're a family, they have money. So sales don't really mean anything, at least to Arthur and his dad. But then I finally told, and Arthur's like, no, like, she goes, okay, and she looked sad. And I'm like, it's not about the ice cream, Arthur, it's about the sale. It's something about, like, with women, it's like, if you get something that's discounted or free, it's like, it's not that it's a rush, but it's like an adrenaline fix, like you got one over, I don't know. It's just common in women. So women with money or without money. And I've been both. Like, in my marriage, we were pretty well off. Like, I've never been this poor before in my life. It's very different. Okay, so then Arthur's and Arthur would never, he's never been one to compliment me. He's not one to say that I love you, and he doesn't acknowledge, he's like the only man that almost in my life that doesn't acknowledge me or my beauty. It's almost like he purposely withholds it. And I've never been like a jealous person or insecure person, but being with Arthur, it started making me, and it was really confusing. This is when I was first with him. It made me, I never liked the male gaze, but by having him ignore me, like if I didn't have much clothes on, he would cover me up all the time. So it made me feel like, am I fat? Because I'm not a fat person. But my mom, I have complexes of being fat, because my mom would always refer to me like I was fat. And I look back at pictures, I was never fat. But my mom would say that. She'd make me feel fat. And so, as a young girl, it's common to feel not like your body and yourself. And so I had that weird complex of being and feeling fat. And, after I had babies too, I did gain weight for a while, but my normal weight was always thin. So when I was heavy, I didn't really know I was heavy. It was a weird thing. But then it brought back insecurities. I'm like, really weird, but I wasn't fat. Like, I would remind myself that my weight, you know, like I was like 120, and my height, I'm like 5'7". So I'm like, that's not fat. And then my sizing clothing was very small, so that just kept me grounded. Because Arthur, he's a thin frame man, but surprisingly he has like um he's yoked, like he's got natural like muscles where most men would have to work for. And Arthur said he's never had to. So his body was already like, he already had like the muscle chest and like the six-pack abs. But even like his friend, I met one of his friends when he was growing up, and we were mocking Arthur, like I was saying, like, oh yeah, like Arthur's physique. And like Arthur would act like what, like he didn't know. And the kids all like, yeah, he was like that as a kid. And like, you know, that's crazy because kids aren't really like, you know, ripped like that. And so I'm like, I was teasing him, like, oh yeah, like Arthur's always like with his shirt off, like posing, like making a muscle thing, like, oh yeah, like, oh, it's over there. And his friend was just laughing because the friend's all like, not envious, but like, you know, he maybe envious a little bit, but not to take away from Arthur. And I was saying it too, like just to tease Arthur too, because he is, hey, stop it, his you know, his physique or whatever. But by him covering me up, it made me feel like fat. And then if I'm provocative, he would never have that gaze at me, and that it messed with my mind. And it really pushed me into needing validation from strangers, and that was something totally it altered me in certain ways. And I'm like, why, you know, people can look at me a certain way, but with him, the person I'm with, it's like, why would I choose to be with someone who makes me feel like inadequate? And then I felt like I was heavy, because if I didn't put any weight on him, he'd be like I'm crushing him. So just, it made me insecure just to even my moves with him. It was really weird. So